You've probably heard the famous idea behind clear your mind, the one that says your thinking should be flexible, formless, and free. It sounds poetic, maybe even philosophical. But what most people don't realize is that behind this idea is one of the most powerful methods for reducing mental overload ever discovered. And the best part is, you don't need to learn anything new to use it. By removing invisible mental drains from your life, you can noticeably increase your focus almost immediately. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When people talk about self-improvement, almost everything they do is based on adding more tasks, more skills, more information, more connections. It feels like progress. But in reality, many people are just piling weight onto a brain that already runs at full capacity. Your mind is not unlimited. It works much more like a smartphone. Every new background app quietly drains energy and slows everything down. You may not see it, but you feel it as constant mental fatigue. That's why you can sleep for 8 hours, pick up your phone in the morning, and still feel exhausted within minutes. You didn't fail to rest. You simply shifted from physical rest into mental exhaustion. Real focus does not come from trying harder inside a chaotic environment. It comes from removing chaos until focus becomes your only option. This is the real meaning behind clearing the mind. And it's also the foundation of what I call the Daily Subtraction Rule. Most outdated productivity advice teaches you how to juggle more. Neuroscience now tells a very different story. Your brain has a strictly limited bandwidth for processing meaningful information. Imagine a highway with only a few open lanes. Every irrelevant thought, every unread message, every lingering obligation quietly takes up one of those lanes. You're not multitasking. You're fragmenting your attention. And once that fragmentation crosses a certain threshold, your focus collapses. This is why motivation alone will never give you lasting concentration. What you need instead is a daily system that limits how much mental noise you allow into your life. The Daily Subtraction Rule is simple. You set a hard limit on your cognitive load, and every single day you permanently remove one low-value source of mental drainage. This is not a to-do list that adds pressure. This is a system that forces reduction. Every day, something must go. The fastest results come from performing what I call information surgery. Most people assume that all information is equal. It isn't. The brutal reality is that most of the content you actively consume today will be completely irrelevant within a few days. It consumes attention without creating long-term value. So you must begin separating information by its actual impact on your life. There is information that directly affects your income, your health, and your core goals. This is non-negotiable information. Then there is useful but secondary information that helps things run more smoothly, but doesn't drive your life forward. And finally, there is pure entertainment and distraction. Content designed only to occupy time and deliver short bursts of emotion. From today onwards, your West value information must follow a daily reduction limit. If you spent 1 hour consuming it yesterday, you deliberately reduced it today. More importantly, you introduce permanent removal. Each day, you choose one low-value source and eliminate it completely. Unfollow it, mute it, delete it, and never restore it. This is not about resisting temptation. It is about removing the switch entirely so it no longer exists in your environment. Once removed, it never comes back. This is not restriction. This is freedom for your attention. After the information, the next major source of hidden mental drain is relationships and commitments. Many people obsess over time management tools while ignoring the fact that most of their schedules are filled with obligations that carry little real value. Any relationship or commitment that continuously drains you without strengthening your emotional stability, resources, or long-term direction is quietly stealing cognitive energy from your life. Traditional time management teaches you how to fit everything in. Time allocation is different. You first assign time to what matters most, and only then distribute what remains. The real metric is emotional and strategic returns. If an interaction does not meaningfully support your mental state, your opportunities, or your primary goals, its hidden cost is far higher than most people realize. Think of it like this. If 1 hour of your time is worth $1,000 in potential value, and a social obligation only gives you back $500 in emotional or practical return, then you've made a losing trade. Social evaluation should never be based purely on whether something feels pleasant in the moment. It must be based on whether it upgrades your life trajectory. For low-value obligations that cannot be instantly eliminated, you apply gradual distance. You don't disappear overnight. You reduce frequency. A daily interaction becomes every 2 days, then every 3. Over time, it naturally exits your mental priority zone. Each reduction creates immediate mental space. That space is then reclaimed by what actually deserves your attention. Now think about what this process truly does. You are not training yourself to push harder. You are shrinking your cognitive battlefield until your focus is no longer divided. Neuroscience is very clear on this. Unfinished tasks, unanswered messages, unresolved obligations, they all occupy working memory. Working memory is your brain's active processing space. It is the exact system responsible for problem solving, learning, and deep thinking. Its capacity is extremely limited. Every time you remove a distraction permanently, you free working memory. As that memory clears, your ability to process information deeply, sustained attention, and thinking clearly begins to rise naturally. You don't need to force focus anymore. Your brain enters focus because the interference is gone. This is the scientific meaning of clearing the mind. So here is your challenge. For the next 7 days, permanently eliminate one low-value information source or one low-value social obligation each day. Not temporarily. Permanently. Do not attempt to delete everything at once. That triggers rebound behavior. We only pursue steady reductions. At the end of 7 days, when 7 sources of mental drain are gone, you will notice something remarkable. Your brain will no longer need to be forced into concentration. It will enter focus on its own. This is the invisible system that elite performers rely on every day.